Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me right now. While you're hitting the snooze button, someone else is getting up and getting it done. While you're making excuses about why you can't start today, they're already 3 hours into making their dreams a reality. While you're waiting for the perfect moment, they're creating the perfect momentum through imperfect action. The difference between people who succeed and people who struggle isn't talent, luck, or connections. It's commitment. It's the ability to get up when you don't feel like it and get it done when everything in you wants to QT. Today, you're going to learn what true commitment looks like, and you're going to make the decision to get up and get IT, Don It He Foundation of Unbateable commitment. You want to know what separates champions from casualties? Winners from wishers? Success from mediocrity? It's not what they know, it's what they do. It's not their intentions, it's their actions. It's not their plans, it's their execution. It's commitment, real commitment. The kind of commitment that gets you up before your alarm clock because your dreams don't have a snooze button. The kind of commitment that keeps you going when everyone else has gone home. The kind of commitment that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Most people think commitment is a feeling. They think it's something you have when you're motivated, when you're inspired, when everything is going your way. But that's not commitment, that's enthusiasm. Commitment is what you have when you don't feel like it. Commitment is what gets you moving when motivation has left the building. Commitment is what makes you take action when inspiration has taken a vacation. Commitment is not an emotion, it's a decision. It's not a feeling, it's a choice. It's not something you feel, it's something you do. When you're truly committed, I don't feel like it becomes irrelevant. When you're genuinely committed, I'm too tired becomes meaningless. When you're absolutely committed, I'll start tomorrow becomes I'm possible. Commitment doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Commitment doesn't require ideal circumstances. Commitment doesn't need everything to be aligned. Commitment creates its own cadence and energies. Commitment generates its own energy. Commitment manufactures its own momentum. The problem with most people is they confuse commitment with pressure. They say they're committed to losing weight, but what they really mean is they'd prefer to be thinner. They say they're committed to building wealth, but what they really mean is they'd prefer to be richer. They say they're committed to success, but what they really mean is they'd prefer to be more successful. Real commitment doesn't leave room for preferences. Real commitment eliminates all options. Koskins, real commitment makes the thing you're committed to non-negatable. When you're committed, you don't have good days and bad days. You have committed days and more committed days. You don't have days when you work and days when you don't. Stop days. You have days when you work and days when you work harder. You don't have times when you pursue your goals and times when you pause. You have times when you advance and times when you accelerate. Commitment is not part-time. Commitment is not seasonal. Commitment is not conditional. Commitment is constant. But here's what most people don't understand about commitment. It's not just about working hard. It's about working smart. It's not just about effort, right? It's about effectiveness. It's not just about doing more ins. It's about doing what matters. True commitment means being committed to the right things at the right time, in the right way. It means having the discipline to say no to good things so you can say yes to great things. It means having the wisdom to know the difference between being busy and being productive. Commitment also means being committed to the process, not just the outcome. Most people are committed to winning, but they're not committed to training. They're committed to success, but they're not committed to the daily disciplines that create success. They're committed to the destination, but they're not committed to the journey. But real commitment understands that you don't control outcomes. You control the actions. You don't control results. You control effort. You don't control what happens. You control what you do about what happens. When you understand that commitment is about controlling what you can control and accepting what you cannot, you become unstoppable. When you realize that commitment is about being faithful to the process regardless of immediate results, you become invincible. When you grasp that commitment is about who you become through the journey, not just what you achieve at the E&D, you become truly powerful. TZ, power of immediate action. The moment you decide to get up and get it done, something magical happens inside your brain. Your neural pathways shift from planning mode to execution mode. Your energy redirects from thinking about what you should do to actually doing what you should do. Your focus intensifies from scattered possibilities to concentrated action and action. The shift from thinking to doing, from planning to executing, from wondering to working is where transformation begins. Most people spend their entire lives in planning mode, constantly thinking about what they're going to do. Someday, but someday is not a day of the week. Someday is not a date on the calendar. Someday is not a real time. Someday is where dreams go to die, where plans go to rot, where potential goes to waste. Up. When you get UP and get IITD done right now, you create forward movement that builds on itself. Motion creates more motion, action creates more action, progress creates more progress. But delay creates more delay. Procrastination creates more procrastination. Excuses create more excuses. The law of inertia applies to human behavior just as much as it applies to physics. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. People who are not taking action tend to continue not taking action unless something forces them to move. But people who are taking action tend to continue taking action because action creates its own motivation. This is why the hardest part of any task is often just getting started. Once you begin, once you take the first step, once you get up and get it done, momentum carries you forward. The first rep in a workout is the hardest, but once you start moving, your body wants to continue moving. The first page of writing is the most difficult, but once you begin typing, the words begin to flow. The first sales call is the most intimidating, but once you start dialing, making calls becomes natural. The key is to eliminate the gap between decision and action, between thinking and doing, between planning and executing. Immediate action also prevents overthinking, which is the enemy of execution. When you think too long about taking action, your mind starts creating obstacles that don't exist. It begins imagining problems that may never occur. It starts generating reasons why you can't, shouldn't, or won't be able to succeed. But when you get up and get it done immediately, you bypass the overthinking trap. You move from idea to implementation before your brain has time to talk you out of IT. You transition from inspiration to action before doubt has a chance to creep in. The power of immediate action also lies in its ability to create evidence of your capability. When you consistently get up and get it done, you prove yourself that you're someone who follows through. You demonstrate that you're reliable, dependable, and trusty or worthy even to yourself. This self-evidence builds confidence, which makes future action even easier. Each time you honor your commitment to get up and get it done, you strengthen your identity as a person of action. You reinforce your reputation with yourself as someone who does what they say they'll do. But immediate action requires overcoming the resistance that your brain naturally creates to protect you from discomfort. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, comfortable, and in familiar territory. When you decide to get up and get it done, your brain immediately starts generating reasons why you should wait, why you're not ready, why conditions aren't perfect. This resistance is not evidence that you shouldn't take action. It's evidence that you should. The presence of resistance means you're about to do something that will stretch you, challenge you, and help you grow. The discomfort you feel before taking action is the price of admission to the life you want to live. Immediate action also compounds over time. Small actions taken consistently create massive results over the long term. But small delays, small postponements, and small excuses also compound to create massive regret. The difference between people who achieve their dreams and people who don't is not one big action. It's thousands of small actions taken consistently over time. It's the willingness to get up and get it done every day, even when the individual actions seem insignificant. Every day you choose immediate action, you're making a deposit in your success, or scrants. Every day you choose delay, you're making a withdrawal from your potential balance. DISCIPLINE-OF daily execution. Commitment to get up and get it done is not a one-time decision. It's a daily discipline. It's not something you do once when you're feeling motivated. It's something you do every day, whether you feel motivated or not. Discipline is what takes over when motivation fails. Discipline is what carries you when enthusiasm fades. Discipline is what sustains you when inspiration disappears. Motivation gets you started, but discipline gets you finished. Inspiration creates the spark, but discipline maintains the flame. Excitement provides the initial energy, but discipline provides the lasting WERN. Daily execution means creating systems and routines that make it easier to get up and get it done regardless of your emotional state. It means establishing habits that automate good decisions so you don't have to rely on willpower alone. It means building structures that support your commitment even when your feelings don't. Champions don't rely on feeling good to perform well. They perform well regardless of how they feel. They understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. They know that emotions fluctuate, but discipline remains constant. The discipline of daily execution requires you to define what get I T done means specifically. Vague commitments create vague results. General goals produce general outcomes, but specific actions create specific success. When you wake up each morning, you need to know exactly what you're going to get done. You need to have a clear list of actions that will move you closer to your goals. You need to identify the specific tasks that will transform your dreams into reality. Without this clarity, get up and get it done becomes just another motivational slogan instead of a practical action plan. Daily execution also means prioritizing your most important tasks when your energy is exhausted. Most people waste their peak energy hours on low value activities and then try to tackle their most important work when they're tired and distracted. But champions do the most important work first. They get up and immediately tackle the tasks that matter most. They understand that the quality of their morning often determines the quality of their entire day. They know that momentum built early in the day carries them through the challenges they'll face later. The discipline of daily execution requires you to eliminate distractions that prevent you from getting things done. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, email, news, entertainment, and countless other things competing for your attention. But successful people are masters of elimination. They eliminate activities that don't serve their goals. They eliminate people who don't support their dreams. They eliminate habits that don't align with their values. They understand that saying yes to everything means saying no to what matters most. Daily execution also means measuring your progress and holding yourself accountable. You can't manage what you don't measure. You can't improve what you don't track. You can't maintain what you don't monitor. At the end of each day, you need to honestly assess whether you lived up to your commitment to get up and get it done. Did you take the actions you committed to taking? Did you complete the tasks you said you'd complete? Did you make progress toward your goals? Or did you just stay PUSI? This daily accountability ensures that you're not just active, you're productive. But the discipline of daily execution also requires flexibilities. Life is unpredictable and rigid plans often break when they encounter unexpected circumstances. The key is being flexible in your methods while remaining committed to your outcomes. If your original plan doesn't work, you adapt and find a new way. If obstacles appear, you find a way around, over, or through them. If circumstances change, you change your approach but not your destination. Discipline is not rigid adherence to a plan. It's unwavering commitment to a result. TAG mental game of commitment. The biggest battle you'll face in your commitment to get UP and get IT done is not external. It's internal. It's the battle between the part of you that wants to achieve your dreams and the part of you that wants to stay comfortable. It's the conflict between your desire for growth and your brain's programming for safety. It's the war between your commitment to excellence and your temptation toward mediocrity. Winning this mental game requires understanding how your mind works and developing strategies to overcome its natural resistance to change. Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It's designed to keep you alive, not to help you thrive. It's programmed to avoid pain, not to pursue pleasure. This means that when you commit to get up and get IT done, your brain immediately starts generating reasons why you shouldn't. It creates fear about potential failure. It generates doubt about your abilities. It produces anxiety about possible consequences. This is not evidence that you're weak or incapable. It's evidence that you're human. Everyone faces this internal resistance when they try to do something challenging. The key to winning the mental game is not eliminating the resistance, but acting despite it. Champions don't wait for fear to disappear. They act while they're still afraid. Winners don't wait for doubt to vanish. They move forward while they're still uncertain. Achievers don't wait for confidence to appear. They build confidence through action. The presence of mental resistance is not a stop sign. It's a go sign. It means you're about to do something that matters, something that will stretch you, something that will help you grow. Mental toughness is developed through repeatedly choosing to get up and get it done when your mind is telling you to quit. Every time you honor your commitments despite not feeling like it, you strengthen your mental muscle. Every time you take action when you want to procrastinate, you build psychological resilience. Every time you persist when you want to give up, you develop character that can't be shaken. Mental toughness is not something you're born with. Mine is something you build. And you build it one difficult decision at a time. The mental game also includes managing your internal you. The conversation happening in your head determines the actions you take in your life. If your self-talk is negative, defeated, and limiting, your actions will reflect that mindset. But if your internal dialogue is positive, empowering, and action-oriented, your behavior will align with that energy. You must become the director of your own mental movie, consciously choosing the thoughts that serve your goals and rejecting the thoughts that sabotage your success. Vigilance is a powerful tool in the mental game of commitment. When you clearly see yourself successfully completing your tasks, achieving your goals, and living your dreams, you create a mental blueprint that guides your actions. Your mind works to make your internal images become external realities. But visualization without action is just fantasy. You must combine mental rehearsal with physical execution. You must see it in your mind and then make it happen with your hands. The mental game also requires developing what I call selective deafness, the ability to ignore the negative voices that try to talk you out of taking action. These voices come from multiple sources: your own fear, other people's limitations, society's expectations, and past features. But you must learn to tune out the static and focus on the signal. You must become selectively deaf to doubt and selectively responsive to opportunity. You must learn to hear possibility, louder than problems. The compound effect of consistent action, when you consistently get up and get it done, day after day, week after week, month after month, something extraordinary happens. Your small daily actions compound into massive results. This is the compound effect. The principle that small, consistent actions create exponential outcomes over time. Just as money compounds when invested wisely, actions compound when applied consistently. Just as interest builds on interest in a savings account, progress builds on progress in your life. Most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a day and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. They expect immediate results from their actions and get discouraged when transformation doesn't happen overnight. But the compound effect teaches us that significant results come from insignificant actions performed consistently. It's not about doing something massive once, it's about doing something meaningful daily. It's not about perfection in the short term. It's about persistence in the long term. The compound effect works in both directions. Positive actions compound to create positive results. Results. Fact. But negative actions also compound to create negative consequences. Small compromises compound into major failures. Minor delays compound into massive setbacks. Tiny excuses compound into tremendous regrets. This is why your commitment to get up and get it done every day is so critical. You're either compounding in the direction of your dreams or compounding in the direction of your nightmares. Understanding the compound effect changes how you view your daily dambrance. Suddenly, every small step matters because it's contributing to a larger outcome. Every workout session matters because it's building toward total fitness. Every hour of study matters because it's developing toward complete mastery. Every sales call matters because it's progressing toward massive success. Every moment of discipline matters because it's creating a lifetime of freedom. The compound effect makes every action significant. But the compound effect requires patience. In a world of instant gratification, patience has become a rare virtue. People want immediate results from their efforts, instant rewards for their fordations, and quick returns on their investments. But the most valuable things in life, relationships, skills, wealth, character, success, all require time to develop. They're not built in days or weeks, but in months and years. The compound effect rewards those who can delay gratification in favor of long-term gain. The compound effect also requires faith that your small daily actions are making a difference even when you can't see immediate results. There's often a lag between action and outcome, between effort and reward, between input and output. During this lag time, it's easy to doubt whether your efforts are worthwhile, whether your actions are effective, whether your commitment is paying off. But faith bridges the gap between action and results. It sustains you during the period when you're working, but not yet seeing the fruits of your labor. Consistency is the key that unlocks the power of the compound effect. Sporadic action, no matter how intense, cannot match the power of consistent action over time. Working intensely for a few days and then stopping produces minimal results. But working moderately but consistently for months or years produces extraordinary outcomes. The tortoise beats the hare not because it's faster, but because it's more consistent. The compound effect rewards consistency more than intention. Cheesy, break through beyond resistance. Every person who commits to get up and get it done will face resistance. This resistance comes in many forms. Mental resistance from your own doubts and fears, physical resistance from your body's desire for comfort, emotional resistance from your feelings of discouragement and frustration, and social resistance from people who don't understand or support your commitment. But here's what you must understand. Resistance is not your enemy. It's your trainer. It's not trying to stop you. It's trying to strengthen you. It's not evidence that you should quit. It's evidence that you're growing. Resistance always appears strongest just before your breakthroughs. When you're closest to achieving your goal, when you're about to make a significant leap forward, when you're on the verge of a major victory, resistance intensifies. This is not coincidence, it's by design. Life tests your commitment most severely when you're closest to success. It challenges your resolve most intensely when you're about to receive your reward. It pushes back hardest when you're about to push throughs. Understanding this pattern changes how you respond to resistance. Instead of seeing it as a sign that you should give up, you see it as a sign that you're getting closest. Instead of interpreting it as evidence that you're on the wrong path, you interpret it as evidence that you're on the right path. Instead of viewing it as punishment, you view it as preparation. Instead of experiencing it as defeat, you experience it as the final test before victory. The breakthrough beyond resistance requires what I call committed persistence minus persistence that's fueled by unshakable commitment rather than temporary motivation. Motivated persistence lasts as long as you feel motivated, but committed persistence lasts until you achieve your goal. Motivated persistence depends on external circumstances, but committed persistence depends on internal conviction. Motivated persistence fluctuates with your feelings, but committed persistence remains constant regardless of your emotions. Breakthroughs happen when you refuse to quit at the moment when quitting seems most reasonable. They occur when you continue taking action despite having every logical reason to stop. They appear when you maintain your commitment despite overwhelming evidence that you should give UP. This is why most people never experience breakthrough. They quit just before it happens. They give up when resistance is strongest instead of recognizing that maximum resistance often signals minimum distance to their goal. The breakthrough beyond resistance also requires you to change your relationship with discomfort. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs. They make decisions based on what feels good in the moment, rather than what serves their long-term interests. They choose comfort over growth, ease over excellence, pleasure over progress. But breakthrough requires you to embrace discomfort as a sign of growth. You must learn to be comfortable being comfortable. You must develop the ability to take action that feels difficult, because you know it will create results that feel amazing. Resistance also teaches you about your true character. When everything is easy, you never discover what you're really made of. When circumstances are comfortable, you never learn about your inner stressancy. When challenges are minimal, you never develop your full potential. But when resistance is strong, when obstacles are significant, when difficulties are real, you discover capacities you never knew you possessed. Resistance reveals your true nature while simultaneously developing your future character. THC, identity transformation through action. When you consistently get up and get it done, something profound happens. You don't just change what you do, you change who you are. Your identity begins to shift from someone who talks about taking action to someone who actually takes action. Your self-concept evolves from someone who has good intentions to someone who gets good results. Your reputation with yourself transforms from someone who makes excuses to someone who makes things happen. This identity transformation is one of the most powerful benefits of committing to get up and get it done every single day. Identity drives behavior. How you see yourself determines how you ACT. What you believe about yourself influences what you do. Who you think you are affects who you become. Most people try to change their results without changing their identity. They want different outcomes while maintaining the same self-belief. But lasting change happens from the inside out. It starts with shifting your identity and then allowing that new identity to drive new behaviors. When you repeatedly choose to get up and get IT done, despite not feeling like it, you begin to see yourself as someone who is disciplined. When you consistently take action on your commitments, you start to view yourself as someone who is reliable. When you regularly push through resistance and obstacles, you develop an identity as someone who is unstoppable. These identity shifts create a positive feedback loop. The more you act like the person you want to become, the more you actually become that person. But identity transformation requires consistency. You can't create lasting identity change through sporadic dances. You can't develop a new self-image through occasional efforts. You can't become someone different through random behaviors. Identity is formed through patterns, and patterns are created through repetition. Every time you choose to get up and get IT done, you're voting for the identity you want to have. Every action is a ballot cast in favor of the person you're becoming. The transformation also requires you to let go of old identities that no longer serve you. If you see yourself as someone who procrastinates, you must release that identity. If you view yourself as someone who gives up easily, you must abandon that belief. If you consider yourself someone who can't follow through, you must reject that story. Old identities are often comfortable because they're familiar, but they're also limiting because they prevent growth. You cannot become someone new while clinging to someone old or died. Transformation through action also affects how others see you. When people consistently observe you getting up and getting things done, they begin to view you as someone who is reliable. They start to see you as a person who follows through. They begin to think of you as someone who can be counted on. This shift in how others perceive you creates new opportunities, new relationships, and new possibilities. People want to work with, invest in, and support individuals who have a reputation for execution. The new identity also changes your standards and conspirations. When you see yourself as someone who gets things done, you become less tolerant of your own excuses. When you view yourself as a person of action, you become less patient with your own procrastination. When you consider yourself someone who follows through, you become less accepting of your own inconsistency. This rise in personal standards creates a continuous upward spiral of improvement. This magnetic power of execution. People who consistently get up and get IT done develop a magnetic quality that attracts opportunities, relationships, and success. This magnetism is not accidental. It's the natural result of becoming someone who can be trusted to follow through. In a world full of people who make promises they don't keep, who start projects they don't finish, who set goals they don't achieve, those who consistently execute become rare. And rarity creates. Organizations desperately need people who get up and get it done without constant supervision. Repeated reminders or detailed instructions. They need employees who take initiative, solve problems, and deliver results. They need team members who can be given a task and trusted to complete it effectively. When you develop a reputation for execution, you become the person everyone wants on their team. You become the employee everyone wants to hire. You become the partner everyone wants to work with. Execution magnetism also attracts mentors. Successful people are always looking for individuals who demonstrate the capacity to act on advice. They want to invest their time and wisdom in people who actually use IT. When mentors see that you're someone who takes action, who implements suggestions, who gets results, they become more willing to share their knowledge with you. They open doors that might otherwise remain closes. They provide opportunities that might otherwise be unilateral. The magnetic power of execution also draws resources. When people see that you are someone who gets things done, they become more willing to invest in your projects. They become more likely to lend you money. They become more inclined to share their connections. They become more eager to support your goals. Resources flow to people who demonstrate the ability to use them effectively. Money follows those who prove they can multiply IT. Opportunity pursue those who show they can maximize them. But this magnetism must be authentic. You cannot fake the energy that comes from genuine commitment. You cannot manufacture the confidence that comes from consistent action. You cannot pretend to have the reliability that comes from repeated follow-through. People can sense authenticity and they're drawn to it. They can also sense pretense and they're repelled by IT. The magnetism of execution only works when it's backed by genuine commitment to get up and getting it done. The magnetic power of execution also creates a positive feedback loop. The more you execute, the more opportunities you attract. The more opportunities you attract, the more you have to execute on. The more you execute on these opportunities, the more success you create. The more success you create, the more attractive you become to even greater OPP or opportunities. This cycle continues to compound, creating exponential growth in your results and your reputation. This magnetism also extends to relationships. People want to be around individuals who make things happen. They're energized by those who turn ideas into reality. They're inspired by those who transform dreams into achievements. When you become someone who consistently gets up and gets things done, you attract other high performers, other action takers, other winners. Your circle of influence improves because you become someone worth being influenced by. Teaching legacy of relentless action When you commit to get up and get it done every single day, you're not just changing your present, you're creating your legacy. Your legacy is not what you inherit, it's what you leave. It's not what was given to you, it's what you gave. It's not what you received, it's what you create. And the greatest legacy you can create is the example of what becomes possible when someone commits to consistent, relentless action. Your commitment to execution becomes a model for others. Your children watch how you respond when you don't feel like doing what needs to be done. Done. Your employees observe how you handle tasks that are difficult or unpleasant. Your friends notice how you follow through on your commitments. Your community sees how you turn ideas into reality. This modeling is more powerful than any lecture, more influential than any advice, more impactful than any instruction. The legacy of relentless action is that it proves what's possible. When others see you consistently getting up and getting things done, they begin to believe that they can do the same thing. When they witness you achieving goals through consistent effort, they start to think that their goals are achievable. When they observe you overcoming obstacles through persistent action, they gain hope that their obstacles can be overcome as well. Your execution becomes permission for others to execute. But legacy is not just about in-speak. Reish, it's about education. Your commitment to get up and get IT done teaches others how success actually works. It demonstrates that achievement is not about luck, talent, or privilege. It's about consistency. It shows that success is not reserved for a special few. It's available to anyone willing to do what successful people do. It proves that extraordinary results come from ordinary actions performed extraordinarily, consistently. The legacy of relentless action also includes the systems, structures, and successes you create. When you consistently execute, you build businesses that serve customers. You create products that solve problems. You develop services that add value. You establish organizations that provide OPP opportunities. These creations outlast your individual efforts and continue to impact others long after you're gone. Your commitment to action creates value that compounds across generations. Your legacy of execution also breaks generational patterns of mediocrity. If you come from a family of people who talk more than they ACT, your commitment to execution breaks that pattern. If you're surrounded by people who make excuses more than they make progress, your example shows a different way. If your community is characterized by unrealized potential, your realized achievements demonstrate what's possible. You become the generational game changer. But creating a legacy of relentless action requires thinking beyond your immediate needs. It requires considering how your actions today will impact your children tomorrow. It requires asking how your commitment will influence your community in the years to come. It requires understanding that every time you get up and get it done, you're not just moving toward your goals, you're moving others toward their success. Tishi, final call. TOUN, stoppable action. This is it. This is your moment. This is where moment. This is where everything changes. You've spent too much time thinking about what you're going to do and not enough time actually doing it. You've invested too much energy in planning and not enough energy in executing. You've wasted too much time making excuses and not enough time making progress. Today that changes. Today, you stop being someone who talks about taking action and become someone who takes action. Today, you stop being someone who plans to get started and become someone who gets started. Today, you stop being someone who dreams about success and become someone who creates success. But this transformation requires more than just reading these words. It requires more than just agreeing with these concepts. It requires more than just feeling inspired by these ideas. It requires you to close this speech, stand up from wherever you're sitting, and immediately take one action that moves you toward your goals. It requires you to stop consuming information and start implementing trans-information. It requires you to stop being a student of success and become a practitioner of success. The time for excuses is over. The time for delays is finished. The time for preparation is complete. The time for action is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, not when you have more money, more time, more knowledge, or more confidence. Now, this moment, this second, this breath. Your dreams are not waiting for perfect conditions. They're waiting for committed action. Your goals are not waiting for ideal circumstances. They're waiting for immediate execution. You have everything you need to get up and get it done. Right now, you have the intelligence to figure out what needs to be done. You have the creativity to find solutions to any obstacles you face. You have the strength to push through any resistance you encounter. You have the determination to persist until you succeed. You have the power to transform your life through consistent, relentless, unstoppable action. But you must choose to use what you have instead of waiting for what you think you need. The world is waiting for what you have to offer. The people who need your product, service, or solution are waiting for you to create it. The opportunities that require your unique combination of skills and experience are waiting for you to seize them. The success that has your name on it is waiting for you to claim it. But none of this will happen if you don't get up and get it done. None of this will manifest if you don't take action. None of this will materialize if you don't start right now. Ask your commitment to get up and get IT done is not just about achieving your personal goals. It's about becoming the person you were created to be. It's about fulfilling your willpower. It's about maximizing your potential. It's about living a life that matters, a life that makes a difference, a life that inspires others to believe that they can achieve their dreams too. When you commit to execution, when you choose action over excuses, when you decide to get up and get it done regardless of how you feel, you join the ranks of the extraordinary. You become part of the group of people who don't just dream about success, they create it. So stand you up right now, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, stand you up. Feel the power in your legs, the strength in your spine, the determination in your heart. This is the posture of action. This is the stance of success. This is the position of someone who is ready to get up and get it done. Now make this declaration with me. I am done making excuses. I am done waiting for perfect conditions. I am done postponing my dreams. I am done accepting mediocrity. From this moment forward, I commit to get up and get it done every single day. I commit to taking action when I feel like it, and especially when I don't feel like it. I commit to executing my plans, pursuing my goals, and creating the life I deserve. Now prove it right now. Before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you get distracted by something else, take one action that moves you toward your most important goal. Make that phone call you've been avoiding. Send that email you've been postponing. Start that project you've been delaying. Write that first page. Make that first sale. Take that first step. It doesn't matter how small the action is. What matters is that you take it right now. What matters is that you prove to yourself that you meant what you just declared. What matters is that you begin the transformation from someone who talks about action to someone who takes action. This is your moment. This is your OPP or immunity. This is your chance to join the elite group of people who don't just dream, they deliver. They don't just plans, they perform. They don't just hope, they hustle. They don't just wish, they work. They don't just talk, they take action. They get up and get it done when others make excuses. They execute when others procrastinate. They move forward when others stand still. Your future self is depending on the decision you make right now. Your dreams are counting on the action you take today. Your family is relying on the commitment you make this moment. Your legacy is being determined by the choice you make to either get up top and get it done or continue making excuses for why you can't. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is not knowledge, talent, or luck. It's action. It's execution. It's your willingness to get up and get it done every single day until your dreams become your reality. The gap between your current life and your dream life is filled with one thing: work. Consistent, persistent, relentless work. The work of getting up when you don't feel like IT. The work of taking action when you want to procrastinate. The work of pushing forward when you want to give UP. But here's the beautiful thing about committing to get up and get it done. It gets easier the more you do IT. Action creates momentum, and momentum makes action EASER. Success creates confidence, and confidence makes success more likely. Results create motivation, and motivation makes results more probable. The hardest part is right now making the decision to start and taking the first action. Once you build the habit of execution, once you develop the identity of someone who gets things done, Once you experience the satisfaction of following through on your commitments, you'll wonder why you ever lived any other way. You were not created to live a life of mediocrity. You were not designed to accept average results. You were not meant to settle for less than your full potential. You were created for greatness. You were designed for success. You were meant to achieve extraordinary things. But greatness requires great action. Success demands successful execution. Extraordinary results require extraordinary commitment. You cannot achieve what you've never achieved by doing what you've always done. You cannot create different results with the same actions. You cannot become someone new while maintaining the same old habits. The time is now. The place is here. The person is you. Stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for signs. Stop seeking validation. Stop making excuses. Get up and get it done. Take the action that will change your trajectory. Make the decision that will alter your destiny. Begin the journey that will transform your life. Your dreams are not too big. Your actions have been too symmetrical. Your goals are not too ambitious. Your efforts have been too inconsistent. Your vision is not too grand. Your commitment has been too weak. But today that changes. Today you match your actions to your ambitions. Today you align your efforts with your dreams. Today you commit to get up and get it done with the same intensity that you've been dreaming about success. The world needs what you have to offer, but it will never see it if you don't get up and get it done. Your family needs the success you're capable of creating, but they'll never experience it if you don't take action. Your future needs the decisions you make today, but it will never benefit from them if you don't make them right now. This is not just a speech, minds, it's a challenge. This is not just motivation, it's a demand. This is not just inspiration, it's an ultimatum. You can continue living the way you've been living, or you can commit to get up and get IT done every single day until you become the person you were created to be. The choice is yours. The time is now. The opportunity is here. Get up and get it done. Your life is waiting. Your dreams are calling. Your destiny is beaconing. Now go make it happen, man.